So in today's tutorial, I'm going to share with you 4 doodle designs that you can do on a pretty base coated rock. Now after this video, I will show how I base coated the rocks at the end as well. So just follow along. We're going to do all 4 of these doodles. I will do timestamps along the bottom for you if you want to skip around. The first one we're going to do is our wave. Now I do this wave in black and in white. I personally love the way that black pops on a rock, but some people like things that are a little softer, so you can do these in white as well. So we're going to layer our waves. So you're going to start by putting one wave curl onto your stone. Now, the shape of your stone is going to change the way you're going to lay your waves down, but I just kind of like to go back and forth, having them curl in different directions, and each time you're going to pull the edges out until they hit either the edge of the rock or run into another wave. Now you will see when I do a bigger wave, you can have the line kind of continue on behind the waves that exist on the rock. So start off kind of adding on your waves. They can be bigger, smaller, they can hook further over the edge, or they can come to a little bit more of just a point. Maybe they didn't completely come to a crest yet. Once you're happy with your waves, we're going to add kind of a few layers to each one of our waves. I like to have a layer that goes along the top of the wave and then kind of a section that's on the underside of the wave. So I just go along each wave, and you can have the line run into itself. I actually end up changing that line later. You can have it go along the inside of the wave, or you can build it further on the outside of the line depending on where your space is. And again, you can kind of continue the lines behind the other waves. Now with the white, this is why I prefer black white. Sometimes you're going to need a second layer, possibly a third layer. The color kind of bleeds through sometimes. But again, we're just going over each wave and adding 2 lines essentially to each wave, one on the underside and one along the top. And then we're going to add just a little bit of design in these stripes. So on the underside, I'm doing kind of these ladder lines, you could say. It gives it almost a shadow look to it. And then as you can see here, this is where I changed this line. I decided I did want the stripe line to go all the way to the edge of the wave. So you can just easily come back in here and you can add the rest of the lines within your wave, and you won't even be able to tell. And then when I come back and do the top lines, I either thicken up the top line, or you can see I'm doing dots dabbing down the top line. You can play around with this. If you don't like to do the extra details, you could just fill these stripes in solid, or you could leave them off completely if you want to. Again, this is a jumping off point, so once you kind of see how you lay these out, you can play around and change up this design as much as you want to. Here is the second wave rock I did in black. I'm going to do this one super fast, but you can watch as it's been laid out and the curls and edges added. I did come back and add a black outline and then a couple little dots because I love adding dots to things. Now the next tutorial we're going to do is going to be a whale, and I did this one in black and white as well, but I'm going to show you on the black one just because I feel like it stands out just a little bit more. So as you saw, I like to start with the spouts because I don't want to run out of space. I don't want to accidentally put my whale too high. I want to have the water spout coming out because I think that just screams whale. So we're gonna put a big whale head on here, a tiny little tail, and a nice big grin. Then I am gonna come back towards the top here, and we're gonna add just the edge of that water spout. Then I'm gonna kind of play with the water as it's coming out here. I want it to have a little bit more curl to it like I did on the white one above. Now we're also gonna do a little bit of lining to kind of create the underbelly part of the whale. We're going to give a water line, a horizon line in the background. We don't want him just floating in space. And then we are going to add a water line kind of coming up to his body here as well. Add on a little highlight, and this guy is done. I do the crisp black outline on him eventually at some point in time in the video, but I'm not worrying about that now. Our next design is going to be a jar of flowers. So if you're doing a jar of flowers, I suggest doing your largest flowers that you want first. If you want them in the forefront. So you want to go ahead and get that flower head down, maybe 1 or 2. That way you can come back in and add in stems and you can have other pieces of stem that you can use for like a greenery or something to help fill the space slightly. So once you have your flowers on, go ahead and bring your stems down onto your stone. Now I'm going to create a glass jar, so it's going to be see-through when it's all said and done, so you don't have to worry about the stems ending at the top. So I'm adding in just one little piece of kind of greenery here. I'm going to add a second one in as well. These just help kind of make a more interesting design. Once you have your flowers on here, we're going to make the top. So we're going to do an oval or an ellipse. That's going to be the top of our jar. I am going to give it a little bit of a screw top design here. And then you're going to come down, and the bottom curve should kind of be close to the bottom half of that top. You are going to create a bottom part of your jar. So you're going to have an ellipse at the top and the bottom, and then you also need a waterline ellipse. So you should technically have 3 ovals going on at the same time. So you don't have to have them completely all the way around, but you just have to have that curve line there just to kind of create the illusion that you want. Now I am going to fill in my flower heads a little bit here as well. I came back and added these little curls on here, and eventually I do give it a black outline. So easy, just these quick little doodle flowers and vases. There's endless style of flowers you can do. Now I start to do a white flower here. I didn't like how they were turning out. I've done calla lilies before. I started to fill them in. I hated it. I'm speeding through this because I didn't keep this, but I just wanted to show you. I just took a wet paintbrush, basically wiped it all off, let it dry, and now we're going to get to our 4th doodle, which is going to be probably my favorite I ended up doing. I love to doodle mushrooms. Now, doodling mushrooms is something that I've always done. There are so many different styles of mushrooms out there that you can really get playful with it. I'm going to show you 2 mushrooms in this design that you can try out. So the first one's kind of a short, squatty one, as you can see, and the second one is going to be this nice, tall one. And there's just a few little key things to keep in mind when you're doing mushrooms. Now, with the second one, I created the top. My arch is going upward on the bottom edge, which means you're going to see the underside of the mushroom. So we're creating this underside space. Now, if you've seen a lot of mushrooms, they tend to have that kind of lines underneath. Now you can have thousands of lines underneath, or you can have 5 lines underneath. You can also make so many fun designs for the tops. So for this one, I'm just doing some clusters of dots. For the lower one, I'm going to do these giant polka dots, more of a toadstool look. But as you can see, the top part of the mushroom, the cap of the mushroom, the bottom of it, the arch goes downward, which means you don't have to see any of that underside of the mushroom. So you can kind of play around with the shapes of the caps, whether they're arching up or down. I'm also giving this a little bit of land to live on. I just don't want them floating on the rock. Again, there's about 100 different combinations you could probably do on these waves, on these flowers, on these mushrooms. The only one maybe not really on too much would be the whale, but still, most of these are really good jumping off points for you to be very creative, really work with the shape of your rock, with your designs, and have fun with it. I'm finishing off this outline around my mushroom. Again, I think this one's my favorite, but let me know which one of these 4 designs is your favorite in the comments below. Now, just like I promised, I'm going to do these base coats next. So these stones are white slices. They're not Santorini. This would work on Santorini as well. You could also base coat stones with chalk paint or matte paint. Now, the very important thing here is these are water-based paint pens, okay? So you're gonna lay one color down on your stone, and then just with water on your paintbrush, you're just gonna wash it out a little bit. You're just gonna get it nice and wet and loose. You kind of have to wiggle if the edges started to dry at all. You can kind of wiggle that water on there a little bit. And then we're gonna do a second color on the opposite side here. So just kind of get it close to the edge. If you want it darker, close to the edge, you can kind of play around with these. The more you do them, the more you'll kind of see how the paint will flow. So start by getting your second color wet all the way first, And then you bring the wet to wet in the middle and you'll get a little bit of a blend between the two colors that you chose. So I always like to get it fluid on the outside edge first and then kind of bring the two wet parts together, and then they'll get a nice little blend to them. Now these two colors weren't a huge difference. I'm going to do a teal and blue next because I feel like that really shows this off just a little bit better. Now, as you can see, I started with doing teal in the center and blue on the outside. Again, we're wetting the teal in the center with water, and then we're going to wet the edge of the blue on the outside, and then we're going to mix them together. Now all you have to do is let them dry. You can just leave them sitting out, or you can speed this process up with a blow dryer. If you use a blow dryer, be careful. Start further away and work your way closer. You can make the paint splatter. You can make a mess. Once they're dry, all that's left is to add on designs. Here these are one more time with the nice crisp black outline around all four of them. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to give the thumbs up if you did. We'll be back again soon with something else new. Bye-bye.